Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. And today, we are continuing our series about how to create a virtual summit. And today, we're going to focus specifically on virtual summit hosting. So what we want to cover with this is what will be your best option to find for the hosting, because there are several options, and I want to simplify this as much as possible because there are so many options out there that it can get confusing, and quite frankly, it can get a little bit intimidating. The first thing I want to do is recap some of the equipment that you're going to need to have to be able to get your interviews recorded, because that's the first thing that you want to do, is to get your speakers, to recruit them, get them scheduled, and get those interviews done. The first thing I suggest you get is a webcam. The one that I've mentioned is the Logitech C920. It is the 1080p resolution model. This is the one that I have. It also has special lighting on it that makes your room look really professional, and it's something I highly recommend. You can get them for about $100 on Amazon, and you can also get them for probably $60 to $70 on eBay. You might be able to get a used one, but that is what I recommend. I believe on Amazon you can also get them for around $60 for some of the used models. But that is the best webcam I have ever used. I have had mine since 2017, and I still use it to this day. So you want to have a webcam. The one I recommend is the Logitech C920. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on eBay. Just do some research, and you'll be able to find it pretty easily. Now, with that, you don't need a microphone. You can actually use the webcam mic that comes with it. It's built in. It has built-in speakers, and it has a built-in mic. I use that for a virtual summit. It did the job. Now, I also have an ATR 2100 mic. You can use that as well if you wanted to have additional resources. But personally, all I did was use the webcam. Again, the Logitech C920. You want to use Zoom to record the interviews. It is free. And then once the video interview is done, they will convert the file for you. And then you need to have a place where it's going to be hosted at. So where you want to utilize is somewhere like YouTube or Vimeo. I use Vimeo, and then once it's uploaded, it's a private link. The other thing is you will need to do possibly a little bit of editing. There is a program called Any Video Converter. Again, it's called Any Video Converter. It is free, and you can use that to extract audio. You can also use it to edit your video if you need to. Definitely important to do. The best part is it is free. So you have that. Now that you have those pieces, you have a place where you can host the videos. You're using a service like Zoom, which is free. You're using the Logitech webcam. These are the things that you need to get started. Once you have that, you need to figure out what you want to utilize in regards to hosting. You could utilize a service like ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels prices range from $97 to $297 a month. I have the $97 option, but I mainly use that for payment pages. Another option is a gentleman that actually is a virtual summit expert. He has a program, and he also has some different options in regards to pages that can be built. And his name is Navid Moazzez. Navid Moazzez. You can go to his website, navidmoazzez.com. He's got some different options on there. I do recommend you do your research on this, because I'm going to tell you right now, there are so many different options. I think this is the one area that makes it really difficult to figure out, okay, what direction do I want to go in? So it's tough. It's not easy. And that's probably something that caused me to put off doing a virtual summit for a couple of years. because I wanted to make sure it was the right opportunity, and I didn't want to invest a lot of money. I've had friends that have done virtual summits that have spent in upwards of $20,000 for their summit. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted this summit to run lean. I wanted it to have a emphasis on the back end, because that was our focus. That's why I mentioned when you're looking at sponsorships, you want to have your business as the sponsor. So what happened was an opportunity came up. I was interviewing a gentleman who had a very successful virtual summit, Steve Nimick, and we were talking after his interview, and he said, "Hey, have you heard of Hey Summit?" And I'm going, "No, I've never heard of them." "Well, Paul, you want to check them out. AppSumo currently has a deal for them where they're offering different packages where it's like $59 and it's lifetime. It is a lifetime access deal that they're doing right now because they're in the startup phase." And how it works with a company like AppSumo, that you are purchasing different options with them. So they're almost like gigs, so to speak. So you can pick up a single or a double or a multiple, and they're basically like units. And what happened was the maximum amount of units that you could pick up was 5. So a single was $59, a double was $118, multiple was $177. I think I paid like $250, $260, something like that. And what happened was I was able to have over 12,000 attendees, unlimited hosting, multiple events, unlimited team speakers, unlimited speakers, and it also would remove the Hey Summit branding. So this was an absolute steal because it was lifetime access. Right now, that deal is not offered. Now, what I do recommend is check out AppSumo every month, because they do have deals that come up. And I know that Hey Summit has reappeared at least twice since last July. So it's a very good probability that another option could come up where they're going to offer this type of deal. However, their typical pricing is $29 a month for their basic plan. They have a professional plan for $99 a month. And then they have a business plan, which is what I actually ended up upgrading to. They gave me a deal where it was like another $20 a month where I could upgrade since I purchased all of those stacks, those units. So they gave me an opportunity for another $20 a month to upgrade to the business plan. And the business plan gives me unlimited hosting, up to 20,000 attendees, 10 active events, gives me a ton of different options, custom domains, theme customization. So for me, I did not want this summit to be too technical. I wanted everything to be all in one. The nice thing is they also had payment processing, so I could sync it with my Stripe account, and it made things super easy where everything was all in one. Now, the problem with all in one is everything perfect? No. Can things be a little bit clunky? Yes. But when you are doing your very first summit, my philosophy is to keep it as simple as possible. If you can put all those eggs into one basket with a company that's going to host, then that's why I recommend a company like Hey Summit, because it worked for us. We were profitable. We did not lose money, which is always a risk. You want to be able to make money on the front end and especially on the back end. So that's why we went with Hey Summit. And one thing I like about them is they have great technical support. We did have some problems the week before just because we were doing everything at the last minute. We're having some struggles, and you know what? They came through. They assigned us specifically a customer happiness expert, and she helped me through probably the next 7 days straight, and we wouldn't have survived without their help. They came through. Their customer service was on point. They were there for us 24/7, and that is something that you have to have. You have to be able to invest with a company that is going to be all in with you. So you have options like Hey Summit. You can purchase different options with WordPress. You can utilize Naveed's program, which I've had several friends use him, and they just rave about him. I think his started around $1,500, if I'm not mistaken, but it's $1,500 and up. But I know he does great work. And my friend that was utilizing the $20,000 launch, he utilized Naveed. So I know he definitely does great work. So ClickFunnels, going through Hey Summit, going through WordPress, going through Naveed. There are a lot of different options to consider. And again, make sure that you at least have the base equipment that we covered. That base equipment being a webcam. And make sure you get one that has a microphone and has speakers, because it's much easier having it all in one. If you want to have a separate mic, or if you already have one like we do with the ATR 2100, that's an option. But again, we just utilized Logitech. We utilized their webcam. It did the job. Video recording software, talked about that in regards to Zoom to record those calls. And then they convert the video right afterwards. Takes a few minutes. Once it's done, check it. Make sure it looks good. If it does, upload it to Vimeo. At that point, then utilize any video converter. Extract the audio out of there. That way you got the MP3. Upload that to Dropbox so you have that file there for when you are offering your premium pass, as we've discussed in previous episodes, you have it there. So you already have got these things taken care of. Take that audio file as well, go to rev.com and have them do the transcription with their artificial intelligence service, where it's 10 cents a minute. Within 5 minutes, you will have a file. Then go through and edit it, and you're good to go in your transcript. And as I mentioned previously, you want to utilize these things as you're going through them. So you get an interview done, follow this process, because if you don't, you're going to have a ton of work to do at the end, and you'll end up doing a 14-hour straight shift like I did, with having to get all the transcripts edited and everything. And trust me, you do not want to go through that. So all of these pieces connect with the equipment that you need, the software you need, and then you got to figure out the hosting. And in my view, I'm a big fan of Hey Summit. Are they perfect? No. Are they going to give you the highest conversion rate? No. Because they're still going through startup to scale up right now. There's some things that they can do better, and they have freely admitted that. I have given them my feedback on a few things, and a nice thing is they listen, and they've already made some things I've suggested that they change to improve the product for the better. And the same thing for other people that have also utilized their services. But the thing is, it's all in one, and it's just going to make things easier. So again, you can utilize Hey Summit, you can utilize ClickFunnels, WordPress, Navid. Find what's going to be the best fit for you, but at the end of the day, keep it simple and do not spend ridiculous amounts of money. If you don't have to spend 10 or 20,000 to get this done, don't do it, because it's your first summit. This needs to be something that you're going to use as an additional piece with your business. As we talked about before with those 3 pillars of authority with our model, we have the book, then we have the podcast, then we have the virtual summit. And it's the same thing. Just get it started, start your first summit. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just go through it. Make it through, and your success is your success. See what happens with it. If it's wildly successful, then run another one a few months later. What our philosophy was, we wanted to get through this. We wanted to learn the process. Yes, we dove in. We took the plunge. But at the end of the day, we knew that this is going to be something that we are going to do every single year going forward. And I do feel that you need to be forward thinking with this. Do not think about this as a one-time summit and a get rich quick scheme. It does not work. What works is embracing the grind, adding these elements as you build your business. And I will tell you, having summits is one of the best ways, one of the absolute best ways to establish further authority, additional credibility, and being able to build relationships with those speakers. And I can tell you, with the speakers that I built those relationships with our Get Published Summit, I have had them on the podcast. I am also partnered with them on different projects. I'm actually taking part in one of the speakers. They're having a virtual summit next month. I'm actually going to be on their summit. I'm doing another author stack. Now, what an author stack is, basically authors going together and they all give away one of their books. Landing pages are made and we all promote each other. It is one of the best ways to build your list. I bring this up because these are the types of opportunities that come up. It's not just about the money on the front end. It is about the money, especially on the back end, and building these relationships and having the opportunity to collaborate in the future. That is one of the best benefits in regards to virtual summits. In our next episode, we're going to talk about admission options and speaker engagement. Things that you can do to keep your speakers engaged. And I'll tell you right now, one of the best strategies is to have a leaderboard. And we will talk more about that in our next episode. Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how you can be featured in our brand new Get Published business book, go to getpublishedpodcast.com.